is a funny thing. I think that everything, it's still happening, just in a different place. Things don't disappear just cause the view changed. So think of when we both had us alive, and I promise you that we're still laughing right now. We're still laughing right now. So trust me when I say that I'm at peace. Every little flame goes out eventually. Though I'm already gone, I'm still the words I left behind. I'm still a memory to make you smile, and those will be there for a while. Though I'm already gone, when you look up to the sky, just find a star that's shining bright, and know I'm right there by your side. I'm still with you, even though I'm gone. Wish that I could right my many wrongs. So quick to turn away, always waited too long. I'm sorry to the ones that I let down. I was never perfect, so I hope it ended where I helped more than I hurt. I know I hurt. Trust me when I say that I'm at peace. Every little flame goes out eventually. Though I'm already gone, I'm still the words I left behind. I'm still a memory to make you smile, and those will be there for a while. Though I'm already gone, when you look up to the sky, just find a star that's shining bright, and know I'm right there by your side. I'm still with you, even though I'm gone. And I know it's not easy. It's not easy letting go. So if you need me, you can find me in these notes. I'm still with you, I'm always with you. Though I'm already gone, I'm still the words I left behind. I'm still a memory to make you smile. Those will be there for a while. Though I'm already gone, when you look up to the sky, just find a star that's shining bright, and know I'm right there by your side. I'm still with you, even though I'm gone. So if you ever need me, just play this song.
It's been a long day
without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through, that I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
So let the light guide your way, yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
But you're not, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain, when I believed in forever and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name, 'cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day, yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday, yeah, yeah. But everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back back your. Memories bring back your. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost, and I felt all of the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feel like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, and you know I'll never drop. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Everything gon' be alright. Gonna raise a glass and say, hey. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. Memories bring back your. I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to the kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah.
A message from Brad and Kathy Booth. We have memories of Jessie working hard at our house, painting rooms and yard work. He always liked my cooking and always wanted to help clean up. Jessie always had a smile and was polite. We will have a mass said for him at our church. May he rest in peace.
Dear Jessie, you will always be a uncle to me. You are the best uncle anyone can ask for. I will always cherish our very little but big memories together. You are now in a better place where they will treat you better. You are always struggling with your problems that won't be spoken. You will always have your very own spot in my heart. Rest in peace, Jessie. Fly high. Love your face.
A message from Aunt Judy. When I think of Jessie, the one thing I come back to over and over was his smile. Everyone looks better with a smile, of course, but with Jessie, I could walk up to a pack of you, young cousins, and know that you were talking about, or perhaps had just done something just a little naughty. Jessie's ear-to-ear, light-up-a-room smile would draw me in, make me smile right back, and not give any naughty possibilities a single thought. He was just so charismatic and fun. I hope this helps, and I want to say that I send my love to you and yours. This has been a year of loss, and it breaks my heart. A message from Cousin Jennifer. I just remember he was silly with his sense of humor and just loved by all. He was one of the babies of the group of cousins. A message from Cousin Matthew. Jessie had to be the most amusing person to be around. His honesty, consideration, and humor provided us a great family member and friend. Those traits of his stood out to me after each of the last handful of family get-togethers, and they always will. I love his unique frankness and kindness. Looking back further, I think about running around our houses and camps together. His amazing jokes still make me smile. Seeing the picture of him with Josiah shows me that miracles do happen. Such a great photo. I love you, Jessie, and love you, Aunt Stacy, Uncle Jeff, Cody, Kelsey, Taylor, and the grandkids. A message from Aunt Tammy. I didn't really know Jessie when he was a toddler. When I came home in 1998, that was when I got to know him. My first impression was that he was a rough and tumble 7-year-old with a mouth and an attitude. The more I got to know him, I realized that he was a sensitive, funny little man that I felt was misunderstood. He sometimes came across as angry, but I think it was more frustration on how to deal with his emotions. He became a wonderful young man, loved fiercely, would do anything for anyone, and could make anyone laugh. I am heartbroken to lose him. We'll miss him like crazy, and just pray he is in a better place with no pain, physical or emotional. Rest in peace, Jessie. A message from Kirsten. Unfortunately, I didn't get to know Jessie very well. What I remember from the few times I met him is that he was kind, quick to laugh, and had a generous spirit. I hope this helps. Mom sends her love too, especially to Stacy.
Hey everybody, it's Joey here. I've sat here for a minute or so, trying to think of what I'd like to say. It's hard to think of eulogizing someone's life in just a couple minutes, but looking back, I didn't even have to think about it because I still remember the way that Jessie makes me feel when I would be around him. I remember going over to Aunt Stacy's house as a kid, that Jessie and Taylor would both be there, and how rowdy Jessie was and how crazy he was. He'd just jump on you and fight with you, and it's like you couldn't keep him off you. It was so awesome. Or when Christmas would come around, the few times I'd ever get to see him, which I regret, I wish I would have been able to see him more, that he just had a jovial spirit about him, that no matter what you were going through or what was going on in your life, that Jessie would be there to talk to you and certainly put a smile on your face. I wish I could tell you more of the stories that me and him have together. We did a lot of crazy shit, I'm not going to lie. Did a couple things my mom wouldn't be proud of me. But you know what? That's what life is. That's what being young is. It's being adventurous, doing silly stuff, and looking back, I'm just so grateful because he is such a big part of the family to me. Looking back, I just think so highly of him. And I want his son to know that he was such an awesome person. that everyone truly did love him, and I can still hear his laugh in my head to this day. And it brings me joy to think that I can reflect on these memories for the rest of my life, and I hope that we can give something for his son to look forward to know that he isn't gone, that he lives in our memories, and that we are family, and that no matter where we are, what we're doing, where we're at in our stage of life, that we're all here for each other. And I feel like that is a universal feeling within this family, that no one feels neglected nor part of the family, that we're all one big unit, that everyone appreciates everyone and loves everyone. With that said, I didn't put this together. I wanted this to be as raw and emotional and authentic as possible. I just want to say, I love you, Jessie. I'm sorry this has happened to you and your family and your son. I love you, man. Till we see you again. Bye.
Hi guys, it's Lisa. I just wanted to say a couple things about Jessie. Man, that kid meant a lot to me. We spent a lot of time with him when he was younger, and it really, really bothers me that I didn't get to spend as much time, but I didn't spend as much time as I should have or wanted to in his later years. And man, I tell you, hindsight, I think we all feel like that. We all feel that we've kind of wasted our time. And, that old cliche, you don't realize what you have until it's gone. Boy, that's really hitting home. But really, I should change that, because I did know what I had. I had a beautiful boy turned man that was a nephew. And I'm going to miss him. So, as we all know, Jessie was that type of person that, when he walked into a room, boy, you knew he was there. He was just a presence, wasn't he? He was awesome. He had that $1 million smile, and his laugh just kind of filled the room. It was just very infectious, and you knew it. You knew that Jessie was there. It just really hurts to think that I won't be hearing that or seeing his smile again. But I'm thankful that they were so incredible, because they'll shine so bright in my memory. I'll never be able to forget them. There's really no erasing those at all. Another thing about Jessie that I can still feel is his hug. Man, I tell you, that kid, he had a hug. It was incredible. When Jessie was hugging you, you just felt like everything was going to be okay. He just put his arms around you and made you feel like you were the most important thing there was, and he would take care of everything. I mean, even as a teenager, you felt that. It's weird. It's weird to think that a teenager can make you feel like that, but boy, he did. He just had that way of doing it. I tell you, there was no wimpy hug from that kid ever, even when he was younger too. And also when he was younger and he hung out with the family, he just, he was funny because he was always making our life funner. He was there. We always had a good time as a family. We joked around and stuff, but when Jessie was there, man, I tell you, it was a laugh a minute. He was always so funny. It was just like boom, boom, always just one after the other. And well, and truthfully, now I'm learning that he made my kids' life a little bit more fun in other ways too. Yeah. But how can I be mad at him? There's no way. I mean, he would just flash a smile, or, I mean, even now when I think about it, he's flashing me that smile like, oh my gosh, okay, you guys were kids, whatever. So, but, he always wasn't that fun kid. He was also sensitive and caring, and when I was going through a lot of the crap that I was going through, he asked me, like, how are you doing? Just really asked me and really listened and really wanted to know. He just really cared. You could see it in his eyes, you can hear it in his voice, and he was really very caring. He also wanted to go beat up the person that was causing issues, but that was just his loyalty coming out. I tell you, I wish with all my heart, that I stayed in better contact with Jess. Him being gone is extremely hard, and it just plain sucks. I mean, it just plain sucks. And I do think, though, that in his death, Jessie has taught us all a very important lesson, that that lesson is to stay in contact with the ones that you love, and always let them know how important they are to you. So Jessie, thank you for the laughs and the big hugs. And Buddy, thank you for teaching me the hardest, most important lesson that I've ever learned. I love you, and I will miss you.
On the day Jessie passed, I saw rainbows on the way to the hospital, several coming from different directions in the sky. On the way home from the hospital after Jessie had passed, there were even more rainbows to see, some coming from the gorge, some over the mountain, some coming from the west. When I got home and I went to my phone, like I do sometimes, and I saw people sharing images of rainbows all across Facebook and pictures of the sky in all these different colors. And I took it as a sign that Jessie was still with us. This morning I was moved by those inspirations, and also by an image from my good friend Mike of one of the most beautiful rainbows from that day. The title of this poem is 100 Rainbows in the Sky. Symbols of hope, to some they say, promises of light and brand new days. Take us from darkness into the light, 100 rainbows in the sky. It wasn't time, should not have been. Life, a storm that drew you in. Loss of light and vision skewed. Pathways taken from your view. But then new promises were made, hands of love and hearts renewed, a family's call, a mother's eyes, 100 rainbows in the sky. Frailty comes in different forms, the human body ravaged by storm. Toss and turn, the grief so new. Black clouds block sun, but not from you. A bridge beckons, spectrums of light, a new day in an afterlife. Peace, tranquility, into the night, 100 rainbows in the sky. Forever, we'll remember Jessie's smile.
Oh, God. What to say about Jessie? And where do I even begin? Him and I were born into this world around the same time, into the same family and cohort of crazy cousins, and because we were so close in age, we spent a lot of time together. I spent more time with him than with any other cousin. Whenever the family gathered, him and I would jet off on our own adventures, and these adventures became more unruly and rambunctious as the years went on. It first started out with us pounding Mountain Dew and pummeling each other in the arm in Uncle Troy's basement while everyone was upstairs watching the Super Bowl, to going fishing at a lake on the far outskirts of Pendleton, all the way until nightfall with no plan at all as to how we were going to get back. Ultimately hitchhiked in the back of some sketchy dude's pickup truck. I was scared for my life. To raiding the cooler at Shampooey Park when the whole family, during a family reunion, went to bed, and then going down to the river to chug whiskey and wine coolers in the moonlight. It was my first time getting drunk. Jessie was always the cooler kid. He was confident in ways I just wasn't. And while I did have my own flair for adventure and rebellion, Jessie was definitely an ambassador to an even wilder side of life. When we were raiding that cooler at Shampooey Park when everyone was asleep, my heart was pounding. I was fraught at the idea of getting caught. I was tight and shaking, scared. Yet the whole time he was cool and nonchalant, plucking the beers from the ice in a completely carefree way. Jessie was independent and solid as a rock. He set the terms he was going to live by, and it was obvious. I learned a lot from those adventures and misadventures with him, because he had many more admirable characteristics than just rebellious confidence. He had loyalty. He was a true ride-or-die homie. I could trust him to have my back if we ever got in fights with other kids, which almost happened a number of times. And I could trust him not to rat or tattletale. He was above that, yet I remember one time that I wasn't. I couldn't hold up the same level of integrity, and I got caught by my mom with a can of chew in my pocket. It was mine, but I blamed it on Jessie rather than owning it. Right in that moment, and later on, I felt a lot of shame. I couldn't get over it, because I knew that he wouldn't do that to me, and I knew I couldn't break our pact like that ever again. It's a great lesson. And more than loyalty, Jessie was a funny dude. He would often leave me and my brothers in fits of laughter with absurd pranks and profane gestures and jokes not safe to say around parents. He really enjoyed lightening the mood whenever things got too serious, and he did a really good job at it. Jessie, thank you for being someone to look up to and for teaching me what you did. Thanks for forcing me to stand my own ground and letting me join in on all of the fun. I hold all of those memories with you as sacred, and I'm grateful to have had you as a cousin and as a friend. And this last month has not been easy for me and for many. It wrecked me to hear what happened and to imagine the pain he must have felt. And I hope you find rest from that pain, and that this next adventure of yours through whatever it is that comes after death is nothing but a joyride. Love you, cousin. See you on the other side.
My name is Stacy. I am many things. I am a daughter, a wife, a sister, a cousin. I am a friend, a coworker, and a neighbor. But the most important thing that I cherish above all else, the role that I value most with my heart, is that of a mother. On May 23rd, 1992, during an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, my beautiful boy, Jessie Delbert Booth, was born. It was a hot and sunny Saturday in Reno, Nevada, but it could have been 23 degrees and pouring rain for all I cared, because in that moment, the world was so bright and so full of light. Jessie's life was a wild ride. I know those that knew and loved him would agree. He was always the first to sign up for an adventure, assuming he wasn't the one to plan it to begin with. Anything outdoors was his jam. And some of my fondest memories are of him on our mini camping trips. I remember him chasing lizards at the cove, where he tried to catch them but ended up their tails falling off instead. I remember one trip where he got locked out of the car in the middle of the night in a very quiet and peaceful campground and ended up setting the car alarm off. It took us what seemed like forever to find the keys in the tent to shut it off. I remember him having a farting match in the tent and us laughing until we cried. We had a lot of great fishing trips too. He loved fishing, and he would be the first one there and the last to leave whenever he had the opportunity to go. Jessie's journey was not an easy one. Jessie struggled for most of his life with addiction, as most of us do in some way, shape, or form. For him, it was usually very volatile. He was someone that was very all or nothing. If you were one of the lucky ones that did have the chance to know him during the peaceful intermissions when he was not consumed by his disease, then you will understand when I say that Jessie had it. He had a way of making you feel like you were the most important person in the world. He had a way of lighting up a room with his amazing smile. He had a way of making you laugh when you didn't even know that you needed it. Jessie loved hard, and he made you love him just as hard, just by being himself. Jessie had it. When Jessie took detours on his journey and didn't take you along with him, he made you long to be with him, to be around it. His presence was all-consuming in a way that is impossible to explain to those who didn't experience it. I have the most memories of Jessie as a young boy, but my most cherished memories are those of him as an adult. There was a time that Jessie lived with us in Boring. He was working at a place in Canby, and I had the opportunity to drive him to work at 4:30 in the morning every day. Most people would not think of getting up that early and driving an hour and a half round trip. They wouldn't consider it to be an opportunity. I say it was an opportunity because it truly was. We had the best talks. He would insist on cranking up his southern rap and sing every single word at the top of his lungs. He would roll a couple and light one up. It must have been a sight for those early morning dog walkers. A mama and her boy rolling down the road at 5 a.m., cranking explicit tunes with smoke billowing out of the windows and sounds of laughter piercing the air. It was during his stay in Boring that he shared his passion for cannabis with me. He talked to me for hours about trichomes and worm tea and other related things. He might as well have been speaking in another language because I didn't understand most of what he was saying, but I listened.
How could you not?
He was so passionate, and you could see how important it was to him.
One of the most
inspirational things about Jessie
was the way his face
would light up when he talked about something that he loved. He could make me reconsider my opinion on any topic with that infectious light. I can't tell you how close I came to turning half of my house into an indoor grow because he thought it was a good idea. I am forever grateful for the seed, pun intended, that he planted in me, and I can only hope that we all find that kind of passion at some time in our lives. The most treasured time that I spent with Jessie has been these last 2 months. I am so grateful for the opportunity to reconnect with my son before we lost him forever. I'm sorry for those that wanted to be with him that couldn't, but please know that he knew that you would have if you could have. I want to honor Jessie by sharing some of what he shared with me during that time. The cause of death is characterized as suicide. I know that the true cause of death was his addiction. Jesse's life was unique and valuable, and he doesn't deserve to be remembered simply for a single decision, no matter how flawed. Regardless of how challenging his life may have been, it also held moments of joy, of friendship, achievement, and happiness, and those deserve to be remembered. Ultimately, he is gone, and nothing can change that. But it is important to me, and it was important to him, that everyone understands that he did not give up. In fact, he worked the hardest he ever had at recovery during his last 6 weeks of life. His life plan was severely altered after his injury. There were some dark moments when the reality of his situation crept in, but our conversations were mainly positive and encouraging and about the future. He told me every day about how he was inspired to keep going by the love he had for his son Josiah. He talked about the kind of father that he wanted to be and his hopes for Joe's future. He told me how the drawings and the photos that you sent gave him strength when he was struggling. He shared the love he felt for his siblings and how much it meant to him that everyone was rallying to support him and Josiah. He talked about getting rich, typical Jessie, and buying a house for his brothers and sisters. He wanted us all to live on the same property with a shared gathering place for the family. He spoke about his father, his girlfriend, and his friends. We invented merchandising ideas for cannabis and brainstormed about our future business. His words were not the words of a man giving up, but of a man filled with hope and love for all of us. I hope that you will remember him with the grace and dignity that he deserves. I want to thank you all for loving my son and being a part of his life, but I also want to thank Jessie. Thank you, Jessie, for the laughter that you initiated. So much laughter. Thank you, Jessie, for helping all of us to see how important it is to live in the moment.
Thank you, Jessie, for your smile, the memory of which engulfs me with love every time I envision it. Thank you, Jessie, for showing us that life is too short to hold animosity towards one another. Thank you, Jessie, for bringing beautiful Josiah into our lives. Thank you, Jessie, for teaching us how to have a sense of adventure. Thank you, Jessie, for showing me what true courage looks like. Your life mattered to so many, and we will forever be less without you in ours. I heard this the other day, and I thought of Jessie, and I want to share it with you. When you love someone, you trade souls with them. They get a piece of yours, and you get a piece of theirs. The little piece of him is still inside of you, and he can use your eyes to see the world. Jessie, I promise to show you as much beauty, love, and kindness through my eyes as I possibly can. I will always love you.
Thank you all for joining us today. Now I'd like you to raise a glass or light a joint. Raise them high. Make sure to smile, because one thing that Jessie always did was smile. Toast to the years we had with him and the memories we will always have. He might be gone, but he's forever in our hearts. To Jessie.